Hello everybody. I'm back with a tech video. I know it's been a bit since I've put up a match video. In case you're curious, I'm currently in between Master and Grandmaster rank. I'm waiting on putting up matches because, I'm still very much learning the character. I'm fighting some good opponents, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the matches, the opponents aren't really familiar with Kotal, or not, really punishing all the things they should be. So I want to wait until I'm in sort of the Grandmaster arena, the Demigod, God level, and show those matches. But in the interim, I stumbled on some interesting tech. I don't know if this has always been true or not, or if it began when the patch changed Kotal's Parry to give flawless block frames. But something really interesting happens with certain overhead strings, and I'll show that to you, of course, right now with Jade's forward 2-1. So of course it's overhead. However, if you parry, it's done. It's done. Even if she is inputted, as you see I have, both buttons forward, or even if she cancels into something, like if she was to cancel into the low, which a lot of Jades like to do if you block the initial overhead, nothing more comes out. She's done. She's finished. And as I'm sure you can guess, she's hugely punishable. And I say hugely because I hope you saw me pause there. Like literally I'm sitting there, then I'm doing it. You can completely hit confirm this. And because you got the buff, notice that you're doing extra damage. You're up to already 22.7% just from that. You can end up getting 40% damage combo, 41% actually with Totemic if you spend a bar, and with Ascension you can be getting up to like 42%. It's really, really nice. So great damage there. In fact, she's there so long, back 2-2, that's right. You can get a max damage combo with Totemic, 30%, 31% meterless off of this. So you parry, boom, full combo, it's amazing, all right? And of course, Ascension can get even more than that. So you might be wondering, but what about other characters that have overhead strings? For example, what about Nightwolf? With Nightwolf's incredible overhead string. I can't believe he has this string. It's so good. But perhaps being a Kotal player will actually work to our advantage. Can you imagine? Let's take a look at it. Obviously, I'm referring to, for those who don't know, Nightwolf's forward 2 string. It's really amazing because he has options to basically make it safe, ways he can cancel into a different ender on the string, or even, as people are now doing, cancel into like amplified bow shot and stuff. But if we record, you see the full string coming out there. That's the unsaved version, by the way, but done. Finished. Nothing else comes out. Even though all those other buttons should be coming out, as you can see right here, all the rest should be coming out. Nothing. You parry, done. Now, as you can see, very, very punishable. Again, you can just see him like crouching there. Super punishable. I'm sure you're wondering, does back 2-2 work? Yes, it does. And if you're an Ascension main, I got something magical for you. Boom, forward 2-4 works. Now you saw it's a little slightly tight, but not really. It's not bad at all. Okay, you can get a forward 2-4 max damage meterless combo with Ascension. It is incredible, and I'm perfectly happy as a Totemic main. I'm still getting 31% meterless, or 40% if I do the crushing blow and spend a bar. So huge damage, hugely hit confirmable. So if you're ever kind of at this range where Nightwolf's going to either be advancing with some of his amazing advancing mids or this overhead, just do that. Again, you've got all day to walk up and be like, oh, I'm going to do a full crushing blow punish to you. Okay, so those are both pretty darn amazing. You might now be wondering, what about Sub-Zero? Of course, Sub-Zero, one of the original 50-50 masters in this game. Obviously, there's Sonya too. Sadly, this tech is not going to be working against her because her 50-50s are after the first hit. But hey, maybe we'll get something good off of Sub-Zero, right? Now, I am focused on Dead of Winter for this, though, of course, Thin Ice has similar 50-50. It's just Thin Ice isn't going to be getting as much damage out of the 50-50. It's really scary when you're fighting Dead of Winter. So the first one I'll do will actually be, just to show it, is the string. So that's the regular string hit into the mids. Sadly, it does not stop Sub-Zero. So Sub-Zero's still going to keep going. Now, the good news is, if Sub-Zero runs on that string, full punish. Interestingly enough, you don't get as much damage, only the 21%, weirdly. I don't know why that is, but I think it's because maybe the maybe the parry buff degrades over time. I thought it was just as long as you hit at a certain point, you get it on the first next hit, but as you can see, it's not as much damage. I'm sure now you're wondering, what about if Ice Ball, right? Well, Ice Ball is, of course, punishable as well. So, you know, if the Sub-Zero does go into Ice Ball, you're going to be able to do a full combo punish after that as well. Now, please note, in both of these scenarios, Sub-Zero is not negative enough for you to be able to go into, like, back to 2 or forward 2, like you could against Nightwolf, but you can definitely get a punish. And for any old school MKX con players, you might recall the joy of doing multiple parries against an opponent. So if there was a slow enough string that you were pairing against, you could parry, 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 and build up those. Well, guess what? If you are fighting Dead of Winter, it is a little tight. If you're fighting Dead of Winter, it is tight. There we go. If you're fighting Dead of Winter, you can get 2 parries back to back. And it does such good damage. I mean, you got to be also on point with this. Boom! 30% already before you even do the rest of that combo. So you can be getting amazing damage off of this. Just want Sub-Zero to calm down. So that's why you see me going off the recording. But you can get incredible damage off of that with the double parry. You can be getting 50% damage if you're spending a bar with Totemic. It's incredible if you use the crushing blow and a bar. And then even more with Ascension. So, like I said, just interesting tech that if you're fighting against certain overhead strings, like Jade, like Nightwolf, you're actually going to freeze it after the first hit and open up huge damage. Kotal's parry also, because it's relatively fast at 10 frames, and you can decide how long to hold it. It's pretty low risk to just kind of throw out in that sort of mid-screen spacing where, you know, Jade would be going for that overhead, or Nightwolf would be going for that overhead, or Sub-Zero would be going for the overhead. In terms of the double parry against Sub-Zero, you might be wondering, you know, is that really something you can do, or is this just, you know, like a tech video thing? Well, I really do believe if Dead of Winter has a bar, it is definitely viable, because if Dead of Winter has a bar and goes for the overhead, they're gonna, in almost all cases, be going for the Ice Ball, Amplified Ice Ball after it. And if you are on point, you can definitely parry both and just melt their life bar, which is amazing. And especially playing Totemic, so much of it is about getting that life lead and then laming it out. So being able to do like a 50% damage combo is absolutely incredible. Now, word of the wise, if that Sub-Zero does go overhead into the kicks, they will crushing blow you because you cannot get out parry fast enough, but you'll be in the middle of a move, so it'll count as a counter and they'll get the crushing blow. So it is risky, all right? So that is more high risk, very high reward. All the others are pretty low risk, high reward to do. I've always said that the parry is something that I think is so cool about Kotal. I said this back in even MKX days. It's tough to explore because there's just so many possibilities, but something like this I think is relatively easy to start implementing into your game plan. I look forward to doing so, and I hope you do too. Catch you next time.